lot of therapy is about, well, I remember this pain, and then I'm going to talk about it, I analyze it, and then it's going to be gone. Well, that's not really how it happens, because the intellect and our cognitive understanding doesn't necessarily reach as deep as those wounds and this emotional baggage really resides. And so we are trying to talk ourselves out of our past or out of this pain or out of the anxiety, but eventually we are realizing, well, it's not really helping because it doesn't really change. And this is where this third the limiting beliefs, the third root cause of anxiety plays a big role, because it doesn't necessarily change how you perceive yourself and how you perceive the world. See, if you believe that you're not safe on a really deep, deep level, you may find consciously all the reasons why you're safe. Yeah, you have a safe job, you're living in a safe country, you're driving only 50 miles an hour on the interstate. You know, you can tell yourself all of those things, but if it doesn't get translated into your subconscious, if you don't know how to speak the language of the subconscious, it's all in your head, and it doesn't reach any deeper. And it may sound trite, but there is definitely a lot of truth to the disconnection between the head and the heart that our society is often suffering from. There is a disconnection between that what we think and that what we really feel. And we rely so much more on that what we think, believing that we are in control with our thoughts. But what really is going on, that what we feel determines how we are experiencing life. And so we have to learn to work with that feeling part, with that subconscious mind. And this is what the language of the subconscious mind can help you with. And this is basically what the book teaches you. It teaches you with these processes specific ways of communicating consciously with your subconscious, so that you go beyond just being aware of, yeah, I had pain, I had trauma, I have limiting belief, I believed for a long time I'm not good enough, or the shoe gonna drop. But that awareness is not enough. With the language of the subconscious, you can actually make those changes and change the matrix of your subconscious mind in just really, really effective ways. I think there is a misconception often that you just, when you are working with the subconscious mind, have this magic light switch and you turn it and then everything is gone. And the subconscious doesn't really work that way. In my experience, the subconscious exactly needs what you said. It needs repetition. It needs the consistency and the consistent guidance. And it also needs appreciation. In some ways, the subconscious is a little bit like a child, because when you guide a child, you have to be consistent with that child. You have to create boundaries with a child. You have to be also kind, and then also give some positive feedback. And the subconscious thrives with that. Now, if you do speak the language of the subconscious, making change happens fairly fast. So when I work with clients, for example, on average it takes about 6 sessions to really help people to break through fear and anxiety and change the way they perceive themselves. But the sessions are not in 1 week. They are not every week. I like to see clients and work with them every 2 to 3 weeks. And then I'm going to give them specific homework and specific tools to do every day in between the sessions to really create new patterns, to create new ways for the subconscious to feel comfortable in, for the subconscious to identify you in itself in new ways, so that you are growing into this transformed person. You don't want to rush it. You don't want to just take shortcuts. Right. You want to really be solid at the end of it. And with the right angles and the right leverage, it's absolutely possible in a very, very fast time. Well, it does change how you see yourself. It does change how you relate to your emotions, how you relate to the world. And this is exactly what happened with this client from Europe. He was after he identified that his core belief was not only that he wasn't safe, but his core belief was also that he wasn't good enough. Because on a deeper level, he interpreted that his mother not being around, him being always pushed around from one family member to the next, that's a sign that he isn't really lovable, that he is not really good enough, and that's why he has been left alone. And so he always tried to extra perform well and be liked by everyone, and basically over deliver, and that caused him a lot of stress and anxiety in itself. So changing this into a new belief where he could learn to appreciate himself, where he learned actually to love himself, incredibly changed all of his experiences. He was able, right after our sessions, to travel for the first time again to his family. He had a wonderful reunion with his sister, and just really, really felt that actually this was a huge part of his life that he was missing, his roots. He was able to finish his thesis that he had been working on for a long time, which gives him a whole new opportunity of also professional advancement, where he had been feeling stuck for a long time, but also afraid of failure, and this is why he couldn't finish it. So now he is able to finish it, and his whole physiology changed. And the last time I talked to him, he told me since a few weeks, every morning he had a fruit juice and a fruit smoothie, and he can actually enjoy all different kinds of fruit without any digestive problems. And it just shows you how it all is connected with each other. And this is not an isolated problem. This is really something that is rippling out in all areas of your life, the emotional, the mental, the physical, but also in how you are creating your life. And by changing the core levels of fear and anxiety, you're not only changing yourself, you're really changing your life's experience. And that's very exciting.